Got some more to say. Okay. I ain't scared of these fucking cops.
Off. I got you on video.
Hell yeah.
Off.
Say your name again. We're gonna talk about.
Okay, my name is David Whitt. Once again, I'm a part of the Canfield Watchmen movement. We teamed up with Cop Watch to spread the awareness that we need to watch these police officers. And what I was just telling a young lady just now, the day that that this memorial went on fire, which is why we highly suspect of the police. And again, we have no proof. But it's highly suspect that 3 officers was on scene when this thing was fully engulfed in flames. They just stood there and they watched it, okay? Then after that, a black officer came down on the scene. He stopped because protocol, when another officer arrives on scene, they must have converse or, conversate with the officers on scene before they do anything. They need to know what's going on. So he said something to them, spoke to them very briefly. Then he went to his trunk and he pulled the fire extinguisher out and began putting the fire out. He couldn't do it, but so then when we had broke that story about the fire, the officer, the other officers didn't have extinguishers. Okay, that's cool. Well, when they came down on the scene, okay, there's a fire in the residential area. The police should have had their sirens on the least. In the least they should have did that. Sirens didn't start blaring until the fire truck came down here. But the police was here at least 10, 15 minutes for the fire truck come. And I was like, and so we still don't know who made the call.
Huh. So was it just that memorial that burned, or was the whole thing in the street burned as well?
No, just the pole right here burnt. The middle of the street was not touched.
So the one in the middle of the street, that's been up since.
Yeah, and to add, the fire department, they're just as much to blame as the Ferguson Police Department because they did not do their job. And what I mean by that, I will explain. When the fire department came on scene, they put the fire out, okay? After they put the fire out, they did not follow proper protocol after a fire. You're supposed to have somebody taking some samples from off of the ground so they could find out what the cause of the fire was. They had no intention on finding out what the cause of the fire was, okay? Because what they did, after they put the fire out, they got in the fire trucks and they left and the police followed them. Nobody said nothing about that. That's why we don't trust, man, I don't trust, man, look. I don't trust government right now. The government need to restore the faith in the people because we don't trust them. We got protesters that's protesting to our government about an injustice that the police department is doing, and they're being silent. Come on, man, that ain't right, man.
You believe Eric Holder resigned directly because of what happened here?
That's what I believe. I believe so, because you gotta understand he's the head of the FBI, all right? So it's like, what was said that made him say, look, I don't want to be a part of this? They're going, Colin Powell did the same thing during the Bush administration. He resigned, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. It's not no coincidence. And the thing is, I believe that was their silent way of telling the rest of the people that this ain't right, and I'm not with that. But like I said before, I said what they did, that was a coward's act because they were in positions, man, to probably say something, raise the awareness. But instead, I don't know what was said to them or how that whole thing played out. All I know is our people that are in positions that know are being silenced and they don't want to say nothing. And I'm like, how can we fight against, people that's not going to stand up for us?
And what I'm always about trying to find the good in things. Can anything good come out of this? Any lesson?
It's good can come out of this. The people, this right here, the people need to start unifying more. And I think as this movement continues to grow, the people that's actually involved, they're starting to unify and they're starting to connect the pieces. The links in the chain are starting to come together. The people that don't know, they're beginning to wake up and understand what's going on. See, an educated community is a safe community. An uneducated community is open for attack at any time, from any direction. And see, a lot of times, I mean, I'm from out of Missouri, so I've seen this happen. What's happening in Missouri has already happened. Okay, people don't want to admit that Detroit right now is under attack by the police department. Okay, Chicago right now is under attack by the police department. California right now is being attacked. DC being attacked. Homeless dude just got harassed out there in DC recently. Police beat him up with something. And somebody caught it on camera. And the cameras is really scaring the police, man. So that's why we got that class, know your rights. We giving folks their basic rights. So when the police stop them, their power, they lose their power when they don't have the right stuff, man. When if they cannot stay talking, when you have a casual stop, the police, they need you to keep talking to them in order for that casual stop to continue. Unless you being detained, you don't have to say anything to a police. That's why when the police stop and ask you anything, your first thing should come out your mouth, am I being detained? If they say you're not being detained, say, am I free to go then? They say, man, they get out of there, man. Don't wait around and keep talking to them. Don't tell them where you're going, where you've been, what your name is. If you ain't been detained as a taxpaying American, okay, you have the right to remain silent. Not just when you're in police custody. Police have no authority to ask you anything unless you're being detained, and then even then, you still have the right to remain silent. Right. So we trying to educate folks on that point, and that's what really scares them, because they lose their power. Take the power away from the police department, then we have a bargaining chip to go at the politicians. Okay. Otherwise, we have no anger, we have no leverage.
All right.
I need to go, though.
Thank you for what you're doing, brother.
Hey, man, we got to do this for our people, man. All these kids that's out here that's growing up not knowing. We got to bring back education in the streets. You know, we got to bring these kids out of the house and stop letting them watch this. They're going to control, entertainment that we watch on TV. They're not telling us about our history. And when they do, nothing predates slavery. They only tell us about what happened in slavery. They won't tell us where we came from. They won't tell us who our ancestor was. They won't tell us that we the ones that came up with the first periodic table. They don't tell us that black man was the first race to circumnavigate the whole globe. Okay, they don't tell us none of this stuff. You know why? Because they don't want black people to get that power. That's why they say, wake up the sleeping giant.
Okay. And if people want to get in touch with you, they can do it by the Facebook page? Or?
Yeah, they want to get in contact. You just go to the Canfield Watchmen. We have a page. Leave your comments and posts. And I also have a page. It's called David Whitt. That's my name. Spell
it, your last name?
Last name, W-H-I-T-T.
Okay.
So, yeah, you can check my Facebook page out, and I try to post things. And, and I do talk with people, people that really understand what's going on. Then we talk, and we like, look, there is a solution to a major problem that's going on. But education must be first. We can't continue to send our brothers and sisters out there protesting without educating them on the proper ways of protesting. Okay. So my goal right now is to make sure that all of these different groups that's organized, that they getting all their folks to understand what their basic rights are. Because if they don't know their rights, then they could cause more harm than good as far as the people that do know their rights that's trying to stand on it.
Okay. So, and then Canfield is, spell that.
Canfield, C-A-N-F-I-E-L-D.
Okay. Thank you again, brother.
Thank you, sister.